I think the most unique thing about the fellowship and relationships, and especially us, because we are in battle so much together, and we understand what battle is like, and all the different aspects of the emotions, and not really having a perfect view of street preaching, except what we perceive in our thoughts, how Christ did it, on the hill, or how John the Baptist did it. But I would love for us to be able to judge one another's preaching because of how close we are with one another. Because we know that we would be able to handle it. We would be able to, because we know that we love one another. We know we're always with each other. And that it isn't. And then usually when I'm rebuked or corrected or called into the office, they're not a part of it. You understand? They're viewing it from a distance.
It's off pretty fast.
They're really not a part of my life either. Viewing it from a distance. But we are viewing it live there on the spot. We are in the midst of the battle together. We are discerning the situation, so we know what is. We know what's good and what was not good, and how to help one another. And so, if we can come into this place, and I think that we already are in this place. I just think that we've never practiced it. We never really just came out and said, hey, I will allow you to do that. I want you to do that. It would be an honor for you to do that. That I could grow, through the insight of others that are a part of a team, than always having somebody outside the camp always tear you apart. Now, of course, we've always been defensive about that because we haven't been with you in battle. And we've been with each other. And so we can discern and we can say to one another, that was a good word, or
it wasn't.
Or it wasn't. And I think that would help. You know what I mean? I think that would help us.
I don't know if you know it, but usually, when I'm preaching or I'm done, I said it to you a few times, but I say it to Gail all the time. I say, Gail, did I thrash these people, or did I, I don't want to, thrash means probably different things to different people, but say when we say thrash, we know what we're talking about. I'm really concerned about it,
Oh yeah, because she watches it all. The thing that I am so concerned about in my own is having an experience that was really edifying, or having a word that was rightly spoken at the moment, and then trying to duplicate that on another time, or falling into patterns of responses. Like, one of the responses I would like us all to even change is that when someone says, judge not, least you be judged. Because our response is, oh, so you hypocrite, you're judging me, I'm judging you. Why even respond to them? It's the same response that we hear all the time. It doesn't even have to come out. We don't even have to go there. We're preaching, and we don't care what you say. I don't have to answer to that. That's a stupid question.
Jesus never answered everybody's question.
And I answer it all the time. And I find myself, why did I even go down that road? Why? It's not even a good sermon anymore. You know what I mean? It's something I don't even want to mimic or just say the same things that I say every time when somebody says that to me. Why do I respond to that? Why do I have to say something to that? I don't have to respond to that. I think it's in my own, it's a way just to get me off track and fall into this rut or this groove or this habit of me spending, you know what I mean, the time on it. I don't even want to read Matthew 7:1 again. I don't even need to explain it to you. I'm not here to explain judging. I'm here to preach. And all you're doing is doing what the enemy does. Judge not, lest you judge, cast the first stone. You know what I'm saying? Just the same things that we hear, and then we fall right into a preach into it. And then we fall right into maybe saying the same thing. And I want to try to stop that.
I think I do that all the time.
Because there's no reason I should just respond to it. Okay, that's not what I was preaching on. You came up and said and changed where I was going. You took the. Now you have the power over me changing when I.
No, we're saying you. You're saying the sinner who came up to you.
Yes, it's now directed my preaching into that which I don't even need to talk about.
Which you didn't want to go to. It's like you hadn't thought, you know, the Lord was giving you a thought and a direction, and all of a sudden it's like you get hijacked. That happens to me a lot.
And I don't understand why I would even have to explain it to the sinner.
They don't,
they don't even
have the mind to even understand.
Hey, you're just a natural man. Me to even tell you it. It's like, it's not the most ridiculous thing. You know, I can probably understand. I mean, there's different, like if you're on a college campus and you have a huge group of people and you're explaining it, you know what I mean? But I don't see like on a street corner why, or on a venue in front of a concert, why that same mantra that is said to us that we should even respond back to.
You're just going to keep saying that all the time because that's what everybody says. I mean, if we respond to it, it'd be over and over and over. In some cases, like the concert, right?
Yeah. Because how many times do you hear that during the preach at a concert?
So, because I think, well, I don't know, we talked about it already, but I think the enemy, you know, it's all spiritual warfare, and the enemy is trying to divide us. The enemy is trying to, you know, trying to cause division among us. The enemy is trying to get us to doubt what God says in His Word. I mean, there's so many things that are going on. But the thing is, how do we talk about this? And even like we were talking about, how do we talk about this? And where it's some, you know, is it something we talk about just for us, or just for somebody else? You know, is it for other people who might be out there watching the video sometime?
Well, in regards to what the enemy uses, because we know, judge not lest you be judged, the things that he says, oh, he without sin cast the first stone, I bet you we can come up with about 12 of them, you know, of the same things that sinners say every time we go out and preach. We just hear the same phrases. That we would just say, there's no reason that you're going to direct what I'm going to say. I'm only going to say, and I'm not going to fall into the pattern of responding to all those statements that I have heard said. It's like I'm a purpose in me not to answer that. And when I hear it, then I'm thinking to myself, okay, don't answer that. That's one that you can easily go into. And whether it's I guess you might even call it a knee-jerk, or it may be even a response of insecurity, or me not knowing what I'm going to say next. That I don't fall into that. I have nothing that I'm saying. I'm dependent upon the Lord, right? And so here, this guy says something, and now what am I supposed to do with that was just said to me? Well, I should ignore it, correct? And stay focused on what I'm there to do. Then allow him to draw out of me that which wasn't the purpose of what I wanted to do.
We don't see Jesus being led by the crowd, you know. We don't hear Jesus even answering everybody's question. You know, Jesus sometimes responded with a question when asked a question.
Because even when I watch me at Pleasanton and all those little kids around me, one person is saying this. Now I can choose which one I want to answer, where I want to go. But why am I even going to any of those kids in front of me? Why am I even addressing any of them in front of me? You know what I'm saying? It kind of, I'm asking myself, why do I allow? Because this is where I would question if I go into the flesh. Because this kid just said something that really irritated me.
Turn the light on.
Irritated me. You better get landlord over here to fix the middle one.
Yeah, you better get away. Well, I think that they're just trying to distract us all the time. You know, sometimes, you know, there are times in the past when, you know, you said, well, I'm just looking for that one. You know, I'm looking for that one that the Lord is speaking to. Now, are we just looking for that one? And if the Lord says, I'm speaking to that one, or, you know, are we going to just address that one, or are we going to continue addressing everybody?
And I know that's what I do when the kids are all around me, and this guy says something, this one says something, this one says something, this one says something, and then I pick the one I'm going to answer to.
I do the same thing.
And let me speak as if I am speaking to that person instead of speaking to the crowd. But this is where I think we need to help one another, and as we watch one another, because I think I do it way too much now in my preaching. I think that I pick something, and it's just like I think when the guy came up to me this last president, I shouldn't have even dealt with that. When he said, "What's Leviticus 19:19?" You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I had nothing for him, so why should I try to have something for him? You understand what I mean? I mean, if I don't have a word for this guy, or I'm not supposed to speak to him, I should not let him control where I'm going. Because I didn't have nothing for him. You know what I mean?
But he just distracted you.
Yeah.
He distracted from the preaching. Really, the preaching, you know, it stopped, and it just looked kind of like a banter between you and him.
Yes.
And really wasn't really worthwhile, it seemed like.
No, I felt at that moment I felt kind of defeated. I even felt a little like saying, you know, Lord, I'm sorry that, you know, I mean, I got taken, you know, down in the sense that I kind of went into the flesh. I would say that I would run into the flesh. You know, if somebody else would have. I mean, I went into the flesh several times. Me and J.K. stopped me. You know, even grabbing onto the pole, hold me back, when the other kid came back. I mean, there's all kinds of things I see that I do that I don't want to do.